insightful report, and that sets the tone for our conversation. And my guest is Johannes Tobi Wojuola, SA to the Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Services. He's a Media and Communication Special Advisor. Thank you so much for coming on Weekend 5.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Now let's talk about this partnership and what it entails.
Well, it's a partnership. What really?
First of its kind, actually.
Well, yes, indeed, the first of its kind. I think it's good to look at this from a historical point of view. That the FIRS has always seen the informal sector as an untapped area in terms of taxation. We have always believed that there's so much more that can be done with the informal sector in terms of getting that sector to or bringing them or making them formal, so to say. Other attempts in the past have been made, but they did not see the light of day. And what we now have is a successful partnership with the mother body, and for us, we believe that it's a stepping stone to bringing that sector outside the scope of the tax net, and bringing them in. What are the terms or wide terms of this partnership? One, it's to enumerate the sector, to get members of people in the marketplaces, and also it's important to restate that the marketplace we're talking about is not necessarily the plantain seller, the bole seller, or the fish seller, or the granola tomato seller. It's people who are involved in business in the marketplace, who have not registered their businesses, or who have not even registered for taxes. Those are the people we are looking at here, and people who transact over a certain threshold within a period of a year, and that is what the law requires. That is 25 million, annual turnover of 25 million naira. And there are other VAT exempt items which we are not expecting those traders to join the VAT Direct initiative, which include those who trade in medical services, agricultural services, the yam sellers, the food items, and all of that. They are exempt from the VAT Direct initiative. But we're looking at people who are in the electronics business, people who sell phones. The famous Balogun market, for instance, where you buy expensive materials and millions of naira is transacted in these marketplaces on a day-to-day basis. You go to Kantinkweri in Kano State, millions of naira, gold traders, and they are not captured in the tax net. So this partnership is going to first and foremost enlighten and educate the traders through the umbrella of Matan on their obligations as taxpayers, or their obligations, as citizens or as businesses. Get them to understand that, as a businessman, you are selling electronics. You should keep records. As a businessman, you ought to pay taxes. This is why your taxes are important for you to pay. And all of those things. We also would, as part of this initiative, and very, very crucial to this partnership, is the enumeration. Now, enumeration in this context is simply assessing, registering, and assessing the membership of Matan. Let's validate, this well over 40 million members that they have across the country. Let's know who is who. Let's know what they are.
It's a huge boost to ease of doing business in Nigeria now.
And you see, another crucial thing that forms part of this collaboration between the Federal Inland Revenue Service and Matan is is the issue of tackling multiple taxation in the marketplace. Over the conversations that have taken place between the leadership of Martin and the leadership of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, one of the major things that has been raised by the Market Traders Association is multiple taxation. Okay. The activities of touts, the activities of miscreants, self-imposed tax collectors who come and say, okay, fine, today you are paying roofing fee, tomorrow you are paying this levy and all of that. We don't know where the money goes to, and of course it affects even the price of goods and services. Now, this partnership, working with Martin, working with the Joint Tax Board, the State Internal Revenue Services, and crucially, the security agencies would work towards ensuring that the taxes that are collected in our marketplace are the legal taxes. Taxes that have already been specified by law. They can be collected by the federal government, they can be collected by the state government, and they can be collected by the local government. So these three heads, I would say, largely the Federal Inland Revenue Service, MATAN, and the security agencies will work towards ensuring that only these legal taxes are collected and are collected properly and are well accounted for. So you don't have a situation where a trader has paid every day he will pay 1,000 naira in the name of one due, he pays 600 naira in the name of another due, he pays so many things happening in the marketplace, and they are not even seeing the benefits to themselves. So that in itself is a long-term journey for us towards sanitizing the marketplace and also harmonizing our tax system, which is fragmented and lacking any form of harmonization.
Yes, indeed, Toby, to sort of lessen the burden on businesses. So we'll take a break. When we return, our conversation will continue. Do stay.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome back, and this is Weekend File, and I still have my guest in the studio, Johannes Tobi Wojuola. He's XA to the Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Services on Media and Communications. Tobi, yes, the FIRS has been successful in the deployment of technology through the tax promax and the tax collection. Now, how is technology going to work with Matan using the unified systems technology that we mentioned earlier?
So let's start from the tax promax first and foremost. The tax promax is the FIRS homegrown solution for tax administration generally. And what does the tax promax do? On the tax promax, the taxpayer can register for tax, file their tax returns, and also pay their taxes. As at January 2023, the service introduced a new module, which is the e-tax clearance certificate, the ETCC. So at the click of a button, a taxpayer can get his TCC, via the tax promax. So that is the tax promax on one hand. On the other hand, we have what we call the integrated revenue management system, which is an automated solution that is owned by Matan. And this solution was launched in 2021 by Matan. They have used this system to enumerate their members. They have used this system to collect dues for their members. They've used the system to harmonize the collection and the payment of personal income tax to the state governments where they operate for their members. What FIRS is going to be doing, even though a lot of the details of the handshake between the two technologies is still being fine-tuned, but largely what we are going to be seeing is a situation where Martin's existing platform will continue to operate, will be more or less upgraded. Our technical teams are working with Martin to upgrade that. That becomes the platform for Martin to enumerate its members, the activities of its members, both the financial activities and also the business activities as well. And also, there would now be a handshake between the tax promax and the Matan system, which would now, through what our tech guys would say, an API. So all of that would now translate to, the system where you can now collect and account for the taxes that are collected from the Market Traders Association. But like I said, a lot of the details of this is still being fine-tuned, between the technical teams and of Matan and also the FIRS. And as we finalize and fine-tune all of them, we will now be able to engage with the members and properly educate them on how the processes will go. But right now, currently, a lot of what we're focusing on is on the enlightenment, letting Nigerians know that this partnership exists. This is what the details of the partnership are. These are the details. Also, we're enlightening their members, especially on tax education, so that they understand what their obligations are as citizens and why it pays to pay your tax, like we often say. Then on the other arm, and crucially, is the enumeration, which is a very, 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 is a handful process. Getting to know who are these members you say are your members, what are their business activities, what are their turnovers, and all those necessary details that we need.
Okay, Tobi, you've been talking about numbers. What's the numbers like, and how can it boost, the revenue generation in the country? Because President Tinubu in his inaugural speech said the economy of this country is on the burner. We must look into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think at the core of this is the fact that we need to expand on the tax nets. The current numbers, though I don't have that off the cuff, of Nigerians paying taxes, a very negligible and embarrassing amount. And these are the initiatives that are actually being brought up by the FIRS to say that, we need to expand the tax net. We need to get more Nigerians to understand why they should pay their taxes, and also, how they should pay their taxes. We're really looking at ensuring that the informal sector, like your report had earlier stated, and though it's common knowledge, over 80%, which constitutes over 80% of our economy, and over 90% of that amount of people are not paying their taxes. They don't even understand how to pay their taxes and why to pay their taxes. This is a long-term journey to bring this huge number of people into the tax net. And if we're to go by the membership of Matan as stated, 40 million businesses or 40 million members engaged in one business or the other, ranging from different things. Even if we were to just bring 50%, even if we were to bring just 25% of the body, even 10% of that body into the tax net, it was going to change things dramatically. And it's a stepping stone to a long-term journey, and also a stepping stone to a long-term entrance into the informal sector, which, like I said earlier, is largely untapped in terms of the tax conversation.
Okay, Johannes Tobi Wojuola, SA to the Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Services, Media and Communication. Thank you so much for coming on Weekend File. I pay my tax. It's taken out of my salary anyway. Thanks for coming.
It's a pleasure.
We'll take a break. When we return, Weekend File continues. Do stay.